Hello, welcome to another edition of the Witsup Weekly Grind. Hope you're all doing well. Great to see you all. Hope you had a good, safe Easter. Got to share it with family and or friends in whatever way was possible for you, whether that was in your own home or virtually. I know for us, we made sure, once I realised it was Easter, I completely forgot that it was actually Easter until Friday when we went out for a walk and happened to walk past our bottle shop, which is 4 doors up, and realised it was closed. And so therefore it was Good Friday. So from then on, I decided that I needed to make sure that we kind of took the rest of the weekend off so that we could differentiate between the work days and the holidays. Because at the moment, I don't know about you, but for me, I feel like it's all sort of melting into one continuous day at the moment. So we made sure that we spent Easter catching up with friends online and just doing, I guess, holiday type of things. And obviously including an Easter egg hunt for our little mate Frankie. And we did one for Henry as well with dog treats. So the whole family was involved. We also, what else did we do? We had a games night with a couple of our best mates. We actually delivered them food and a bottle of wine. And then we ate the same food and had the same bottle of wine at home as well. So that we felt like we were in the same room, like hugging each other, high-fiving each other, and just having a bit of a laugh. And Brady managed to stay awake till about 12:30. So it worked. It was pretty good. Just going to fix this up, check out who is tuning in. Hi, Kate Somerville. Always great to see your smiling face. Always thankful for all of your support. Hope you are doing well. Who else have we got watching? The ever-consistent Joe Coombe has tuned in as well. Hi, Joe. Hope you are doing A-OK. How's the training going, everyone? What are you up to? How are you dealing with the changes? What's your approach to training? Personally, I'm just trying to tick things over and just stay in a bit of a rhythm, which can get a little bit hard because you can lose a bit of motivation. I kind of feel that we just need to roll with things a little bit and not be too stuck on schedules and routine. Need to make sure we are looking after ourselves and ticking things along nicely. Find some little goals, maybe. I think that's a good idea. Jay Weber, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you. I've also got Joe tuning in as well. Joe Horrigan, nice to see you as well. Jay, what's happening? Give us some news, Jay. What are you up to at the moment? Fill me in. Let me know. Who else we got? Mark Bosworth, my very good friend. Spoke to him yesterday as well. He was another person, him and his family, that I wanted to make sure that we'll catch up with over Easter. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that we were sort of approaching the weekend as a bit of a holiday. So I actually shut down my computer and tried to just concentrate on a bit of family time, which was really good. So it meant that I was a little bit more revitalized to get back into work today. Tanya Davenport has checked in. Scott Bavel, great to see you as well. Joe has said she did the Ironman VC Super Sprint today, but started it too early, so it didn't count. Joe, so you tried to cheat. Is that what you're telling me? Joe, what did you think of the VR? Would love to hear your thoughts on that, but also the Ruby system. I need some feedback about the Ruby system. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. Kirsty Howardson has said, training yesterday equals learning to play cricket. Bowling means I've discovered some new back muscles. Oh my goodness. About 2 months ago, my friend was here with 2 of her sons from New Zealand, and they are obsessed with sport, cricket, rugby, everything. And we all went to the park and no one was interested in throwing the ball. So I started throwing the ball, and I used to play softball. So I've got a decent arm. The next day though, because I was trying to show off, let's admit it. The next day, my goodness, my neck from my ear, I think down to my elbow was sore. Idiot. Anyway, Anne Stansel, g'day, how you doing? I think I saw a couple of other people tuning in. Sharon Seaton, who is one of our patrons. Hi, Sharon, hope you are doing well. Thank you for all of your support. Joe and Mark are having their own little conversation, which I love. They're comparing temperatures. This might be a bit of a giveaway. It's chilly in Melbourne, although the sun is out at the moment, which is providing a little bit of light coming through the window at the moment. Who else have we got? Oh, Jay. Jay's just checked back in again. Jay has said we got some more snow here in Colorado. The weather's crazy. In addition to all the other adaptations we are making, but it's been great to see some more real strength training in, for sure. The industry here in the US is adapting in new ways. I think we're going to see, I guess once the initial sort of, it's a freak out, let's be honest, and people just trying to figure out what they want to do. Once that sort of settles down and we, really sit into what's happening at the moment and what our life looks like for the next few months, we'll see some interesting changes in businesses, in people. I personally am looking forward to seeing how companies roll things out over the coming weeks. Alison Deenan, hi, Steph, and happy Easter. Happy Easter to you as well. Jo Coombe has just said that she's doing all the virtual racing stuff on Zwift, not on Ruby. It's a shame the pro racers have all been in the middle of the night so far and on the same course. Completely agree. What do you guys think? Who's watched the pro races on the weekend? Lauren Brandon won the women's race. Are you tuning in to the pro racing through Ironman, so the Ironman VR? For me, I think it's in the middle of the night, so we can't watch it live. And to be honest, once it's raced and done, it's not something that I feel like I want to go back and watch. That's just my personal opinion. I know Jordan's watched a few. Hi, Jordan has just tuned in. A, what do you think of Ruby? B, what do you think of the Ironman VR pro racing? But Joe came up with a good point in this comment just here, that you can do the whole virtual racing for age groupers can be done however you want. It's just about recording what you are doing, whether it be on Zwift or even outdoors. So that's what that is. But the pro racing is done on Ruby at the moment. Reiko has just said, it was my first time with Ruby today. Felt much harder than what the terrain grade percentage showed. Either that or I'm out of shape. Maybe a combination of both. Who knows? Sharon and Joe both said that they watched Frodo on the weekend. Kate said she's not watching rather than listen to you in your interviews. Good answer. I like it. Sue Hutter has tuned in. Hello, Sue. Gosh, she's just one of those people that just loves this sport and gets involved with everything. Sue, it's so good to see you. Jordan, sorry. Jordan has just said that the Ironman Pro Racing, I'm going to pop this on the screen, they're okay. Shorter is better. It's watchable for an hour, but it was more fun to watch the Team Ineos Challenge on Zwift than triathlon today. Interesting. Joe Horrigan, Frodo was interesting, had some interesting guests when I saw it. I'm going to talk, getting lots of comments. I love it. We're going to talk about the Frodo Effect in just a second. Because it was, nothing short of outstanding. But I'm going to get to that. Mark Bosworth said the VR Team Ineos race was really good, short and sharp, much easier to watch than 90K in a garage. Am I saying that right, Ineos? Is that right? Jordan, I reckon Jordan will let me know. Kate Brown, been doing the Try New Zealand Swift Saturday cycle races. Great initiative and looks like an Anzac race planned. Ooh, all right. I'm going to check that out as well. I've been getting a lot of feedback about the Try New Zealand stuff on Zwift. All great feedback as well. Sue Hutter, super spectator here and find it rather boring. So Sue is a massive fan of the sport and she's saying she's not feeling it. And we're not here to shit can it or anything. It's just interesting. I wish I was frothing to go back and watch it, because that's what you want in sport. You want to watch, back in the days when you didn't have everything at your fingertips, and you'd be out all day, and you missed the footy match, or you missed I don't know, whatever sport you're into, you missed it. And you're like walking around like this, like, la, 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 don't tell me what happened because I want to watch the game later on when I get home. That's what I want to feel from sport. That's what you want to witness. So maybe the shorter, sharper racing is more enjoyable during and after to see how it all plays out. Just thoughts here. Okay. Here we go. Reiko again. I've enjoyed watching the Ironman Pro VR Challenge. It's fun to see the pros in their own pain caves with their family and pets and responding to Dee Dee and Michael in real time. Great points. It is cool, I think, to see that behind the scenes type of feel as well. So yeah, that is a really good point. What have I got here? I just want to show you something. What do you think? Different camera angles. Ready? Duh, 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 duh. Just trying out some different stuff. Why not? What do you think if we change the angle up a little bit? I can talk to that camera, or I can be like real pro and say, back to camera one. Camera one, coming live to you from the Witsup headquarters. Okay, Jordan has said, first VR event got me motivated, but now I'm way more inspired to watch Jan take on the challenge, and that's why Blanco got up in the middle of the night. Okay, let's get on to the Frodo Effect. So, for those of you who were not aware, Jan Frodeno decided to do his very own iron distance in his own house. So they've got an infinity pool. They're in Spain, so they've been in lockdown for essentially 4 weeks. And so he decided to swim in his pool. And then, so I don't know, I can't remember, someone who watched will fill me in, no doubt. But he's got the machine that you can put into your own pool. So it's not his own swim spa or anything. And you set the resistance so that, yeah, you know what I mean. So you pop it in your own pool. He swam the 3.8K in his wetsuit, and it was freezing. He said it was so cold when he got out. Boz has just says his taste in architecture and infinity pool. My mate Boz, Mark Bosworth, who is tuning in, is obsessed with architecture. So he definitely knows his stuff. Their house looked amazing and just overlooks Girona. Oh, it was incredible. Here you go. Jordan has just said he has the motor and you can set it to a given pace. And it was 14 to 15 degrees. Or 13 degrees Celsius, Joe Coombe has just said. So anyway, he did the swim. It was filmed, I think, from a couple of different angles. And then he got onto the bike, which was all played out on Zwift. And anyone can join him while he was Zwifting. One of the cool things about it was a couple of different angles. He did it in 8.5 hours, a full iron distance, which is incredible. Inside, amazing. To get through it in 8.5 hours. From my point of view, I thought it was cool, but what really blew me away was the production. Everything was so well thought out, from the camera angles to having Zwift as a box in the corner or whatever, and they'd swap different camera angles. And then that he had a commentator, our good friend Till Schenk from Germany, who actually lives about 400 meters from Jan's front door. He was the commentator throughout the entire event, which commentating any Ironman, any long distance triathlon is a tough day, particularly when you're doing it by yourself. But what I found really good with Till is he wasn't afraid of some silence. He was talking to Jan, and Jan was replying, which that is phenomenal when he's... How many watts was he pushing on the bike for 180 Ks? 200 and something watts, and still having a chat. But to feel comfortable with allowing that sort of dead space for a little bit I'm not great at it because you can hear me chatting away at the moment. But that's a really unique skill to be able to do that. And because of the time lag and everything, when you're going live over Skype and their whole setup, you have to be really patient and wait for those pauses and wait for people to answer you. So I think he did a really, really good job. And then, my best mate Nicole Spicer has tuned in from Perth. Hi, Spice. Hope you're doing well. Say hi to the kids, please. Jordan has said 3 to 3.5. Here we go. This is not easy whatsoever. And chatting the entire time. It was incredible. But like I say, just the production was amazing. And FYI, I spoke to Emma Frodino last night and she told me about behind the scenes and everything. And it was... I mean, they didn't have a massive production crew. They got sent some of the cameras and mics and things, but they were sort of running on about 3 or 4 people doing it and producing it. And oh, mate, I was blown away. It was so well put together. I couldn't watch the whole thing because it started to go into the middle of the night, but I watched as much as I could. I was never bored. The interviews were great. Like he had pro cyclists on there. Daniela Reef turned up at one stage. They had Macca. It was just so well thought of. So anyway, my question to you guys, and I've just missed a whole bunch of comments. Sorry, the reason I've written the Frodo Effect. Do you think there is any other athlete out there who could have put that together? And Joe Horrigan has just said he did his sponsors proud. My God, sponsors dream. But do you think there's any other athlete out there who could have pulled that off? It'd be very hard. I have always known that. We all know that Jan is very professional, but and he had a team working with him. There's no doubt about it. And he had his wife Emma cooking him banana bread and bringing him coffee and stuff. So no doubt it wasn't just Jan, but that's what makes him so professional, having a team surrounding him. It was just incredible. I loved it. Some people have said Fabian, yep. Sean Summers has said Sebi, yeah, he'd be great. I'd watch him as well. Joe has said Reef could do it with her team. Potentially. This is a question. Does Daniela Reef have the persona that like a Jan has got? Like he sells himself so well. He's an incredible athlete to watch go about his business. Anyway, I think it was, and Jordan has just said she wouldn't be as engaging as Frodo. And exactly the personality, like Frodo sort of ticks all of those boxes. He's professional in terms of business savvy. He is engaging. Like the way he talked, and then the music as well. Yes, that's it. Sharon just nailed it. Charisma. That is what it is all about in that kind of thing. Because to go through all of that was, man, I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. Anne has said, what about Rinny and Tim or Lionel? Yep, I think they would all be really good. Talbot Cox with Carfrey and the O'Donnells, maybe. Great idea. But I think Talbot is in Oklahoma at the moment while Rinny and Tim are in Boulder. So that would be a bit tough. But maybe he can teach them all about the video content, the video stuff over... Geez, I'm getting lots and lots of... Oh, Scott McKenna has said Worth. Yep, absolutely. Completely agree. Luke Gilmer has said Worth as well. Cam Worth would be very interesting and very entertaining over 8.5 hours as well. I want to know what woman do you think would be able to pull that off? The other thing that I didn't mention as well is he raised over 200,000 euros, which is a phenomenal effort. Anyway, that is enough about Frodo on a Women in Triathlon website. Back to the main camera. Jordan said he had a solid right. Yep, okay. Ooh, Boz, this is a great idea. Yes, I want to see this too. This, I want to see this happen. I'd like to see teams racing each other. Soto squad versus the Julie Dibbins squad. Something along those lines. Some kind of... Actually, one of the questions that I ask our pros in our 74 questions video is, if you could build a super team that included yourself, so one person did the swim, one did the bike, one did the run, who would be on your team? Most people choose Lucy Charles or Lauren Brandon for the swim, obviously. Marina Carfrae pops up in people's heads when it comes to the run. But maybe we can organise some super teams and get them playing off each other. Bosworth. That was even a Bosworth, like, ooh, let's get on it. I reckon we can do it. Some kind of relay. All right, calm down, Boz. He said I'm smart, but calm down. I just want to say hi to Sienna, Lucinda and Balin, who are tuning in from Perth in Western Australia. I love you guys. I miss you guys like crazy. And hopefully we'll get to see you towards the end of the year. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What? I think I missed someone. Jordan has said Michelle Vesterby. Good one. Yeah, Michelle Vesterby would probably be one of those athletes, I think, in the women's field who could pull off something similar. She has a massive following, particularly in Europe. She's very, very big. She appears a lot on television over there as well. I don't know so much about the States, but here in Australia, people don't know who triathletes are unless you're in the world of triathlon. Let's just put it that way. It doesn't appear quite like it does in certain parts in Europe. Very, very different audiences. Jay has just said, isn't that kind of what the PTO was aiming for, although not a relay? Well, yeah, I guess so, yeah. Do you mean with the Collins Cup type of thing, Jay? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, maybe we can do a virtual type of Collins Cup. I'll have a chat to the PTO. I'll give them a call. Tell them to talk to Jay Weber and myself and Mark Bosworth. Let's get it sorted. Jay, who are you working for these days? What are you doing? Okay, so on to the next one, Kona 2020. Okay, we've all got our thoughts about this, and when we posted about it we just posted the press release from Ironman, who, in case you missed it, they have basically said that typically the qualification cutoff date is the end of July, and they have moved it out to the end of August. Actually, I think they moved it from 13th of August to the 30th of August, a couple of weeks. And in those couple of weeks, there's 3 or 4 Ironmans that you can qualify for Kona 2020. Now, the amount of comments that we got, I think it's fair to say that there is a much higher percentage of people saying that Kona will not happen this year. Well, there's a couple of issues. There's the qualification process and getting enough opportunities to qualify. But then there's also being able to travel to races internationally. So here in Australia, for example, races that have been postponed were so Ironman Australia and Ironman Cairns. I'm just talking about the full Ironman at the moment, and they've all been postponed to September. So they definitely won't count for Kona 2020. They'll be counting for Kona 2021. So Australian borders, we read an article. I'll add a link to the description later on, but essentially it was saying once things start to settle a little bit, the Australian government aren't necessarily going to be opening up the borders to international flights. They're going to try and convince people to travel within their own state to begin with, and then within their own country, because the tourism industry are going to need our dollars here. So that's one issue, is that you just won't see any Australians or New Zealanders in Kona. There are plenty of other issues as well. We had quite a vocal guy, and all full credit to him, sort of saying, Hawaii is such a small, or Kona especially, is a small island, even though it's called the Big Island. Do they really want a whole bunch of travellers from all over the world coming into their tiny little island that doesn't have, the health infrastructure that we would need if there were any issues. I don't know. So anyway, what I wanted to ask you guys and Leslie West has just tuned in. Hi, Leslie. So Leslie is one of those athletes who has already qualified for Kona. She qualified in Bustleton last year. What are you going to do? What are you thinking about doing in terms of accommodation? Are you going to cancel it? I know that some insurances are saying right now, if you cancel right now, you can't get any money back. So I've got a accommodation already pre-booked with a deposit. So I'm just sort of waiting to see what the insurances say. So there's that to think about. I don't know if you'd want to be booking flights at the moment because there's a very, very high chance that Kona won't go ahead. So do you really want to be losing that money at the moment? Probably not. I actually don't even know if you can get online and actually book any flights for the future. I don't know. Leslie, what are you doing with anything that you've already pre-booked? I just want to go back to, I saw something. Jay, Director of Operations for Base Performance, heading up international expansion. Oh, nice one. Excellent. Luke Gilmore has just said there won't be any Aussies there with the borders shut. They need to postpone it. I'm going to get to that. One of our ministers said overseas travel unlikely before December. So that's one of the articles I was referring to, that essentially we won't be travelling, we as in Australians, and I assume New Zealanders will be very similar, will not be travelling until 2021. Joe said that flights to Kona are available at the moment. I don't recommend booking them though, just my opinion. I'm not an expert, but just saying. Okay, so Leslie said, just leaving my accommodation booking as it is for now, and we'll see how things unfold. Yeah, lots of things to think about. Now, Luke Gilmer has said, why don't they postpone it? That's a question I've got as well. I'm not saying that they haven't. I can guarantee you that they have gone through every, so many different options. So let's not say that they haven't. They just haven't spoken about it in the public. Excuse me. But back in, I think it was 83, maybe it was. I think, and it may have been, they had two Ironman World Championships in the same year, and one I think was in April and one was in October. And I think it was when they were changing over to make October the date that they were going to continue doing the Ironman World Championships. But they did have a race in April. So I think it must have been maybe in 1983, something like that. So that's my question. And Leslie, back to you, just because I think you're the only person that I know that is tuning in who has qualified for Kona. Oh, there you go. 1982, and it was February and October. I was that close. Jay, just confirm with me. I think that was when, so it used to be in February and then they changed it to that year? Or why was there two in that year? I ran out of time to actually look that up. So let me know if you know that reason. So I guess if Kona was moved to, say, February, March, April next year, and let's assume that things have settled down, and I still don't even know if by then it would have settled down, but if you have already qualified, or if you're looking to qualify, would you be happy to go to the Ironman World Championships and take part in it in February, March, April next year? Jay's just said it was moved from one island to the other. Cool. Thank you very much for that input. Excuse me again. Sorry. Yeah, so this is interesting. Allison's just said, I don't see the US recovering for some time. I'm doubtful I'll even race Arizona on the 22nd of November. Tremblant will be cancelled within the week. So that's quite interesting as well, because they did say that it was one of the races was Ironman Canada that was in that end of August period. And the race director, I sort of did a bit of researching on different pages, had said that his flights were still booked to head to Ironman Canada. So until you hear otherwise, it is still going ahead. And I get it, you've got to be positive and, hopeful, but I don't know, we also have to be a little bit realistic. Okay. What's Joe just said? Steph, we've got Shoko St. Louis on here. A Hawaiian resident. Oh, Shoko. Oh, okay. Do you have any thoughts on a bunch of athletes coming to the island? What's sort of Hawaii's thoughts at the moment? I don't know. I don't even know if you can answer it. You probably can't answer on behalf of the entire island, or islands, I should say. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, interesting. Okay, anyway, moving right along. Sorry if I miss all your comments. I'm trying to catch them as they come through, but lots of people commenting. Anne has said, even with travel not restricted, what about the question of adequate preparation for both pros and amateurs? Would folks want to race or would we want to watch it? Now, okay, so this is another good question, and these are sort of the debates I've been having with people over the weekend. So I don't know. Personally, I can't see a fair qualification process whatsoever in between now and Kona 2020 this year. I was throwing around ideas. Would you, and I know that what they've actually done is they're offering legacy athletes the opportunity to race this year instead of 2021. So they're pulling all the legacy athletes away from 2021 because there's going to be an influx of age groupers who are qualifying within their age groups. So they've tried to bring legacy athletes forward to this year. Personally, I think it's a little bit cheeky because they want those legacy athletes to pay up front, essentially, to grab their spot for this year. And I don't know, I just think it's a bit cheeky trying to grab money from people right now while there's so much up in the air as to what is happening. Just my opinion, take it or leave it. But anyway, so the other thing that we were discussing was, okay, there's only so many legacy athletes who are A, going to accept their spot and B, going to be able to get there. So then do you open it up and do a random draw for any age grouper to get to Kona? Pete Coombs just tuned in and said it's legacy athletes from any year. So essentially they've just sent emails out to all of the legacy athletes and said, can you go this year instead of your other year? So right up until 2024, 2025. And Jay Weber has just said they were waitlisted. If Kona happens, they're emptying the wait list for legacy. So pretty much all legacy athletes have been contacted to race this year, but that also means that they need to pay, I believe, within 2 weeks of saying yes, they will race. And right now, if I was offered that spot, I wouldn't be taking it. Pete Coombe, I mean, he's joking around. I'm not going to take it. I'll be too fat. But this is a good point. Can you adequately train for one of the toughest races on the planet indoors? Don't think so. So anyway, with the pros, I was just saying, if the pros really want to race, just invite every single pro who wants to race can race Kona this year. If the 150th ranked pro wants to race, go for it. It's very expensive to race if you're not finishing in the top 10. Very, very expensive. So, I mean, I don't think you'll see every pro turning up. I don't know. I certainly don't have the answers, but I think we need to calm down on the Kona thing because it's for everything to fall into place, it's going to be very, very difficult. On the note as well, I am... Scotty Babel. Scott has just said, I'm 150th. I'll go. I'll come and take photos of you, Scotty. You've got to pay for my flights, though, and accommodation, because I'll probably lose it. Natalie has just said the legacy, if they don't accept for this race, are they still eligible for following years? I think that they are. It would be extremely harsh if they are not. I'm pretty sure, and I know Joe and Pete can fill me in. I'm pretty sure if you don't accept to go this year, you're still in the running for following years. Oh shit. This is interesting. Except Jay has just said not if the race still happens. The letter they receive says that they have to take it. Is that true? I need a second source to confirm that if they don't take their spot that they've been offered this year as legacy athletes, do they still get an opportunity to race in following years? Except Pete is saying yes, they do. All right, let's see what happens. I missed a comment up here that I wanted to... Okay, Ben Bell. All right, Ben, who is one of the best age group athletes in Australia, if not the world. Flights booked and paid for, would rather they cancel it and race October 2021. It may be a problem with the extra numbers if they cancel this year. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be in the same boat. We all want Kona to go ahead, but we also have to be realistic. So maybe starting to change the thinking about what your planning might be. So Ben, on that, so let's just assume that yep, it's going to go ahead in 2021. Right now, what will you do with your training? So you're just going to back off training and just look at it as a bit of off-season, work on strength and conditioning, working like keeping the heart rate low, not smashing yourself, working on any inconsistencies that you've got. Is that what's going to be your plan for now? Thinking that Kona's not going to go ahead. Would love to hear your thoughts. Same with you, Leslie, if you are still here. Let me know what you plan to do in terms of your approach to training at the moment. Okay, yeah, Pete Coombe has just said it's not compulsory to take the spot this year if you are offered it. And that's, Jay, I hope you're wrong as well. That's what I've heard. I've heard that it's not compulsory to take the spot if you're offered the legacy spot this year in Kona. Correct us if we are wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I just think they were suggesting that this year would be the way to go. Back to camera one. Okay, hi Melina Townsend, who's watching. Tina Staggs tuned in. How you doing, mate? We're talking about triathlon. Oh, Belinda Granger. Do you know who we need to get on the Witsup Weekly Grind? Belinda Granger. Are you in for it? Next week, Belinda, do you want to join me here on the Witsup Weekly Grind? The only proviso is you need to be drinking coffee, or as it starts at 1 o'clock, you can have a glass of wine if you choose to do so. Please, Belinda, if you are listening, let me know if you would like to join me here on the Witsup Weekly Grind channel. We would love to have you. Belinda, hi my gorgeous girl. Yes. I won't make you wear a beanie because apparently in Noosa it's stinking hot up there today, so you don't have to do that. Okay, so you heard it here, folks. Heard it here first. Boop. Belinda Granger joining us here on the Witsup Weekly Grind next week, coming at you. And she has said that she'll be having wine. All right, I'm in next Monday, 1 o'clock here. We are having a wine with Belinda Granger on the Witsup Weekly. We should just say Witsup Weekly Wine then. That works better. WWW. Okay, just going to go back up. I'm trying to get off this topic. People keep talking. Leslie, okay. At the moment, I'll be training as if it's happening. All right? Until they tell me otherwise, it's confirmed that I can't leave Australia. Good. If that's something that's keeping you motivated, and that's the key here, I think, is to look after your own mindset. Make sure that if that's something that you want to train for and keep motivated, awesome. Good for you. Well done, Leslie, for putting that out there. Okay, Sue Hutter has just said, yes, please. I just listened to BG interview and it was great. So for those of you who don't know, Belinda Granger, and actually I've just got, check out this pen. Oh, it's not going to focus. What about on camera 2? Whoop. I just happen to have a Challenge Roth pen in my hand, Belinda Granger. Check that out. So she has started a podcast on behalf of the Challenge family and hosting Coffee with Belinda Granger. Check out that podcast. I believe you can get it on any platform that you listen to podcasts, so check that out. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I know Belinda, and I know it will be a lot of fun to tune in. Okay, Natalie has just said, okay, so how does the qualifying athlete, someone like Ben, who we just chatted about before, feel that they'll be racing against an influx of legacy athletes and perhaps not the same number of qualifying athletes to push them through? Great question. I'll see if anyone else wants to answer that question. Don't know. Never qualified for Kona. Can't answer that question. But Ben has just said he has come off a break after Port was cancelled. Okay, so he will start to prepare as if it's going ahead until he hears otherwise. Sunny Coast 70.3 in September anyway, if that goes ahead. Okay, so another great point. So Ben and Leslie, who are both Kona qualified age groupers, have decided to continue training as if their race was going ahead in October. Really good point as well is that Ben has said here in Australia, Sunny Coast 70.3 is happening, and there's other Ironman races happening here in September, as far as we know. So if Kona doesn't happen, we may be able to travel within our own country. So he's got some other races so all of that work training for Kona will be put into a different race. So that's a really good point. Thanks, Ben, for Bell's his last name. For tuning in and giving me a little bit of an insight. That's fantastic. Jay, thank you. I'll check that out later. Oh, okay, hang on. Here's an extract from the Legacy email. Let's put this to rest right here, and then we've got to move on. Okay, so Pete has just said, okay, so this is the Legacy email. We would be grateful if you could let us know whether you would be able to move forward and race at the 2020 World Championship. We cannot make any promises right now about your specific timing for racing the Ironman World Championship, but we would like to gauge who could move forward and race this year based on the available slots. Okay, so there it is. And I guess Legacy athletes will know a little bit more as we go. Thanks, Pete, for that message. Ben has also answered Natalie's question. He would rather race a full-strength field. If it goes ahead, we'll race whoever's on the start line. That is out of my control. Fantastic way of looking at it. And I guess that's how you should look at any race. You can only race who's there. And I don't know, like I imagine a lot of people who are racing you're at a world championship, so you are racing for a podium position. But with so many athletes out there on the race course, it can be really hard to figure out where you are on the course anyway. And I'm pretty sure that Ben would be racing his hardest whether he was in a duel or not. So I don't know, there's plenty. I guess that's one of the good things about especially long distance racing is there's so many little races within the race that so many ways that you can push yourself and hit your own goals. But yeah, that's a really great answer. I'm going to pop that up on the screen. Boop. What are we thinking of the 2 camera angle? Feel totally pro. It's working out really well. All right, back to camera 1. It's just really hard to look at that camera and then read the comments because they're back over here. So anyway, when I know what I'm talking about, I can look at that camera, but we'll go back to camera 1. Okay, we have to move on because I've got stuff to do and I'm actually warming up a little bit. Can you see? A little bit red there. Getting too hot. Okay, next thing. Let's get rid of that comment. I think I've been talking too loud because I think I may have woken up Frankie. Good thing Brady's home. Next thing. Okay, what happens in ISO stays in ISO. Oh, actually, I forgot to say hi to Lauren Brandon. If you are still watching, congratulations on your win. over the weekend at the Ironman VR Pro Challenge. Congratulations. What did you think of the race? What were your thoughts? Leave me a comment below. I think we'll do a little race wrap up. Laura Siddle will be doing that and chatting to you maybe today or tomorrow to find out your thoughts. But thank you for tuning in. If you can leave a comment, that'd be awesome. Back to camera one. Okay, what happens in ISO stays in ISO. So we started this little segment last week with Lauren Brandon, and it tended to revolve around drinking. So drinking alcohol a little bit earlier than what you normally would. Or my story was I dropped a glass of wine off to one of my good friends because it was... Anyway, I was driving with an open container in my car, which you shouldn't do, and I probably shouldn't be telling you all that. But what happens in ISO stays in ISO. This week, what did I write down? So what happens in ISO stays in ISO. I have been saving money on washing my hair. So that was the first time I washed my hair, I think, in maybe 10 days, something like that. So I, more... Michaela Copeland has said more Steph Angles. Can't be mad about that. Oh man, you're desperate for any kind of entertainment, and if I can offer that to you, you're welcome. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Joe Coombs said I may have changed it from VR to VC. Apparently, this is awesome. Hang on. Iron Man have changed it from VR to VC. Apparently, Marvel Comics already had Iron Man VR as a name. Love it. Yeah, okay. I didn't see that one. Thank you very much for filling me in. Hello, Alison O'Ryan and Sky Monch. Thank you for tuning in. Sky, we'll have to get you on the Witsup Weekly Grind at some stage as well. Okay, so what happens in ISO stays in ISO. Back to that one. I'm saying saving a lot of money. I'm not washing my hair very frequently, so saving on shampoo and conditioner. Also shaving my legs less, so saving on razors. Haven't brushed my teeth in a week. That one's a joke. I have actually brushed my teeth. But it's amazing how much money you can actually save when you don't have to go out and about and see anyone else. I'm not here to impress Brett, so whatever. No, mainly because I just don't want to have to go back to the supermarket to get more razors if I need to shave my legs. But I have been brushing my teeth twice a day. Actually, one day I completely forgot to brush my teeth, but that wasn't actually a money-saving thing. Oh, my little friend is awake. Come and say hi. Oh no! Who's that? Oh, nothing. See, she does get upset. Everyone thinks you're the happiest kid in the world. Whoa. Oh. Nah, not even that worked. Here we go. Bye-bye. Nah, not interested. Sorry, gang. Pete Coombs said we ate a whole key lime pie. What happens in ISO stays in ISO. What are some of your things? What have you done in ISO that you wouldn't normally do? What happens in ISO stays in ISO. Sky has also said, yeah, let's do it. I will send you an email and we will lock something in. What's your what happens in ISO stays in ISO? We've been going for 50 minutes. I don't know how this keeps happening. I start this thing thinking, oh, I won't talk for long. I've got nothing to talk about. 50 minutes later, we're still here. It's your fault. It's because you keep commenting. What was my next thing? Favorite thing this week. Okay, favorite thing this week. I think we actually used a bit of this last week with Lauren, is the whole putting teddy bears up in the window so that when kids are walking past, they can go on a bit of a teddy bear hunt. We put a teddy bear up in the window. He's massive. We put on some bunny ears, and then I put up a sign. So I did it yesterday. So that was when all the kids were out getting Easter eggs. And I put up a sign and I just said, hi kids, happy Easter. Just to let you know, you are allowed to have chocolate for breakfast, but don't tell your parents that I told you could. I think I'm rather hilarious. But it was really cool because it's in our lounge room and it's kind of on a main road. So many people were coming past and just laughing and pointing at it. And the kids were like, see? And so, we're waving to all of our neighbours. And it's kind of cool. I've actually had more interaction with our neighbourhood folk throughout social distancing, more so than ever before. So that's been really cool. I'm really enjoying it. I want to go back through some of these, what happens in ISO stays in ISO. Anne has said wearing the same clothes for a few days for sure. Brett's actually, I think, up to day 5 of wearing his Witsup Supportive Dude t-shirt, and that includes sleeping in it as well. So, yep, there's that. Mocking your child's cry is by far the best method. Doesn't stop them being a sook, but it's hilarious for the adults. However, Frankie's getting to this age where she is getting just a little bit tantrumy. And I get it. It's because she can't express herself so much. Like, she's so close to talking properly and she just can't get out the words. And the other day she was having like a little her meltdowns go for 10 seconds. She's still pretty chill. But she was on the floor just, wah! So I got down and copied everything that she did and she started pissing herself laughing. So, Mother of the Year. Boop. But yes, you are right. It's funny for us, for sure. Natalie has said the rainbow trail. Is that the teddy bear thing, the rainbow trail? Or is that something else? What am I missing? I do not know. Okay, I think I've actually officially run out of things to say. As you're all still tuning in, and I appreciate it, hello to Alex Hall, all the way from Cairns. How are you doing, Alex? Want to check in, see how you're doing, because I assume you're not doing much work at the moment. So I hope that you're okay. Everyone say, hi, Brady.
Hi, Brady.
That's my live-in chef. Also my husband. And father of my child. Natalie, is you go looking for rainbows, the chalk drawings. Oh, we haven't done that one yet. I like that. Do other areas, this is cool. Do other areas have the 7 p.m. cheering and clapping for the frontline workers? I've not heard of it here, but I could be wrong. Let's just start it. So wherever you are in the world, it's 7 p.m. Go outside and cheer and clap and just see who else might join you. You might become the crazy neighborhood person, but who gives a shit? Do it. Why not? What else have we got? Oh, that was the other thing, because you're all still listening. We were going to launch our Witsup shop. I mean, it was meant to be launched probably 2 weeks ago, a week ago or so. And then I decided not to because I didn't want to... I just felt a little bit weird launching it right now. But then I've spoken to a lot of people and they've sort of said, look, people will spend money if they want to. So, no one is being forced to spend money. I keep getting distracted by all the comments, sorry. Like, ooh, bright shiny light. Yep. Don't go into the light. I can't help it. It's so beautiful. That's a quote from A Bug's Life, I think it is. Alison has said, I believe the 7 p.m. clap thing was a once off. Okay. Let's check it out. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Joe, has everyone seen the Facebook group Bin Isolation Outing? No, but I'm going to check it out now. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to the Witsup shop. Stop distracting me. It happens so quickly. Anyway, so a few people have said, yeah, why don't you give people the opportunity to purchase any Witsup kit if that's what they're interested in. This is like one of the things that I wanted to start selling. Also this hoodie that I absolutely love. But I felt a bit weird because I was like, well, am I then, like, we're all being told to stay home, but then I'm getting factory workers to make stuff and send it out. And then someone actually pointed out that we're helping, those people are working regardless at the moment. So we're giving them an opportunity to continue working. So I don't know. I was just feeling a little bit of that it was morally wrong to launch a shop. But I've turned around, would love to hear your thoughts. We've got quite a few things that are going to be available from beanies, hoodies. We're not doing a Witsup cycling kit yet, but I'm going to be working on it. And I don't think there's as much of a need to rush that one through or anything. Let's get it right. But there's some cool Witsup stuff that I think you guys might like, but would love to hear your thoughts on that. Apparently online shopping has gone up, obviously, because people can't shop in the bricks and mortar kind of style. But then there's also the other side, the flip side of that is that people are having to save money and can't spend. But I guess we need to give people an opportunity to shop if they wish to do so. We need to keep the economy going to a certain extent. So I think we might be launching the shop as soon as I have time and you guys let me go and actually start working on those other things. Finally, Joe's just said, I want a new hoodie, we'll wait. These are really cool. The problem with this one is, well, it's not a problem. I also have a massive head, so that's what makes it hard, is I love the fit. Hang on. So I like that it's like this kind of, it's nice. I don't know about you guys, but so many hoodies are so massive. But this one is just, it's a well-fitted one, but the head, to get your head through is, it's a bit challenging, but I have a massive noggin. So anyway, I think it's worth it because I really like the cut, the feel of it. Anna's just said, I'll buy a hoodie. Open it. Okay, so all right, I'll work on it. God, stop pestering me. Stop badgering me. I'll get onto it. Okay, Chloe K's tuned in. G'day, Chloe. Tanya. Oh, Tanya, go for it. People will make their own decisions. Exactly. I've had a really good think about it, but I think you're right, and we will do it. So stay tuned for that. I've just got to do a bit of back-end stuff on the website to get that sorted. All right, I have to go. Got stuff to do. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you've tuned in from that camera or that camera. Don't know about that angle, though. Oh, God, that's a few chins. We need to work on that, I think. But anyway, just something a bit different to mix it up. And please let me know what you thought of our little intro video as well. I think it's pretty cute. I did not make that. I paid someone else to make that because that is way outside my wheelhouse, but I love it. Alison has also said, I'll buy one. Your head is not it's massive. There's also a lot of hair, but I've got a big noggin. I really do. People can't borrow my hats because they have to... Actually, I don't like people wearing my hat because I don't like it when they change the snap lock at the back and then I put it just... And I don't like people I'm very fussy about my hats. Okay, I got to go. Great to see you all. Great to chat to you all. Thank you for tuning in. I think we're going to have to keep it at 1 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time weekly, and we'll just see how we go. But take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Look after this one as well as this one. And I will see you for the Witsup Weekly Grind with Belinda Granger next week. Peace.